Hey everyone, welcome back to Convention Circuit Entertainer Spotlight. I'm your host, Scott J. Carroll. This week we're sitting down with a man of many talents comics, podcasts, pop culture expert, and more. Please welcome my friend, Scotty White.
Hey everyone,
Hey,
especially you
Scotty.
sitting there on the couch. You know who I'm talking about. How's it going?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I am wonderful. Just enjoying it's as we record. It's May the 4th, so I've been enjoying Star Wars Day like everyone else. If
Yes,
if that's what you follow, I mean, we're all inclusive here.
my wife's family grew up Catholic, so just to mess with her every so often, I'll go, "May the Force be with you," and she can't help herself. She just goes, "And also with you."
And also with you, yes.
So, my friend Scotty, tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, I am a Porch Creek Native American, and I'm extremely creative, and so I started a publishing company where we do comics. I have a network where we do podcasting, and so we do a little bit of everything. We do a lot of conventions all throughout the Southeast region. We do our podcast live. We do a game show. We have a game show called ###. That's really fun. It's a pop culture game show, and as you said, I kind of as a pop culture expert, I like to call myself the Native American pop culture spirit guide. So I like to help everyone out with as much knowledge as I have.
I like that. You get to share it, and it just seems more wise in its own way.
It does. It does.
So you've got a ton of different projects going on, and I've got to see a few of them, be a part of a couple of little
Yeah,
bits and chunks here and there.
yeah. You've done a couple
So
live shows.
yeah, yeah. Although your live shows are so much fun, why don't you tell us a little bit about some of those?
So let's see. Our main show on our network is a movie show called the Cult Movie Cantina, and it's myself who brings in a movie, typically a cult movie, not too famous. Sometimes we do some famous films. I have a friend Stephanie who is our Lady of Libations. So she comes up with a cocktail recipe for it. So the next time you watch the film, you can enjoy a cocktail that's kind of thematic. And then our other friend, Angelical Jester, Justina, who was basically raised Amish, and she's not seen like movies that you think every human being should have seen. She's not seen any of them. So we have a habit of like bringing her in the middle of a series, so she has no clue. Like we did, she had never seen any Star Trek, and we brought her. The first one we watched was First Contact. We were just like, here's a no original series, no, just here's a bald captain and a guy with a hair braid on his eyes, and just have some fun. And
I
so
would have. My favorite movie to throw people into the Star Trek universe with is Star Trek 4 because it just confuses them.
and then there's Wales. So that's on our list too. We've done First Contact, and we've done Wrath of Khan, and so we got to finish out the trilogy. So we got to do 3 and 4 for that one. And the Whales, I'm expecting to get some good response out of her. That should be fun. But we've done a lot of films. We've done They Live. We've done Halloween 4. We've done just the weirdest stuff. Sucker Punch, because Zack Snyder's fun, and it's kind of a weird film, and we just if it's a cult weird film, we like to do it, so that's what we do that. The other thing we have is a game show called ###. It's basically a pop culture marriage of NPR's Wait Wait Don't Tell Me and Ask Me Another, where I bring in quote unquote celebrity guests to answer questions to win prizes for our audience members, and so it's real fun. And we usually have my co-host is a musician, so we usually have a musical category where he sings the category, and you can answer questions from that.
Nice.
We did a parody of Everybody Wants to Rule the World, and it was all about the questions were all about supervillains. So we rewrote the lyrics to fit supervillains, so you had to guess which villain we were singing about. So that's the kind of stuff we do. That's the kind of silly stuff that we do.
Right, and you also do comics as well.
Yes, I have a comic called Chronicles of Limbo, which you can find on Webtoons. It's about a 300-year-old half vampire and our cosmically powered toddler. Because that's a market that's not been hit yet. So Disney, if you're out there listening, I got your next big hit. Come hit me, or Netflix, whoever hit me up. Get that money.
Is Netflix still just greenlighting whoever shows up at their door? Because
Well,
I've got a few things we could do too.
well, maybe we should carpool and see what. I mean, if Kevin Smith can get He-Man, we can get something, right?
I mean, Kevin Smith's from Jersey. I'm from New Jersey. It's clear the connection's there.
I've been to New Jersey.
Exactly. There you
So
go.
I got that going for me.
So normally, if somebody has a project, we like to show a clip or show a picture, but you have so many things going on. There was only one way we could figure out to show it on screen. So, Alan, if you could please pop up the what we got for Scotty here, or it's taking time. There's so many things you have. We have to load in all the different pictures we want to pop up for you.
Well, you asked for pictures. I didn't know what to send, so I sent a little bit of everything.
You sent all of them.
Not quite. There's more. I don't want to overload.
Oh, I'm sure. You sent me a picture with you with like all of your projects with a bunch of different celebrities, and one of my favorite pictures that you have in there is a picture of you with David Warner.
Yep. Got that.
Oh, please go ahead.
You know, I got that at Pensacon last year. It was the last show before the world shut down.
Yeah, the world absolutely did shut down for a bit, but David Warner, like, he holds a very special place in my heart. Like, as a character actor myself, he's one of the first character actors I ever recognized as a character actor. Because I remember watching an episode of Star Trek and going, that sounds like the guy from Turtles 2. And then just seeing him pop up again and again, watching an old movie, going, there's David Warner. David Warner's back.
I love David Warner. He was lovely when I met him. He's, you know, if anybody gets a chance to meet him at a convention, he is wonderful. He's one of those celebrities who gets fans and is just happy to be there. Not all of them are that way, but he's just super. He was super amazing, super gracious, and so it's hard to describe David Warner to people because he's one of those. He's been in everything, so everyone has seen him. So what is the movie that you try to describe to people who, when you say, I like David Warner, like, who's that? Which movie is your go-to on that?
My personal go-to is Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze.
I always say he's the manservant in Titanic. Composed, and then people go, oh, because everyone saw Titanic. And so they're like, oh, yeah, the guy with Billy Zane, I got you. And so then they start putting together where he's in The Omen and a bunch of other wonderful things.
He's had an incredible career, one which, like, again, as a character actor, I am envious of, but I'm so proud that he's just been in so many different cultural things. He's been in Star Trek, I believe, 5 times.
I know of 3. He's Gorkon. He's the diplomatic, the Federation diplomat in 5, and then he's Gul Madred in the 2 episodes on Chain of Command on Next Generation. Who else is he?
He was. I know he was in the. He was. You know what? If I'm wrong on this, I will fully admit that I'm wrong. I want to believe that he's in a lot of the different episodes.
He's in all the episodes.
Yes, every
time I watch it, I just see David Warner. What are you talking about?
He's in the background of every single episode. I don't know what you're possibly talking about.
I'm trying to think of the Federation guy's name. St. John, something St. John. It's weird.
I have to, off the top of my head, I can't remember.
See, I can't do math, but I know this stuff. Like, you can ask me a math question, no idea, but I can tell you like 9 Star Trek ships. I can be like, 5, different classes of I'm just, it's just weird.
I will tell you this: math is what kept me from becoming a scientist. I was on my way to being a scientist, and then math happened, and then I was like, I can't do this. Maybe I'll go be a stuntman, and that super didn't work out.
I like how you went from scientist to stuntman. That was like that's where you're at. My 2 options in life.
To be fair, Indiana Jones was a very prominent figure in my childhood.
I wonder if he was good at math.
He was. He had to have the other guy translate how many cubits to take off of the staff.
So he probably wasn't great at math.
But he was a scientist and he did his own stunts. So I'll take that.
It belongs in a museum.
So do you. So
we just revert to Indiana Jones movies. This is the show you get. We're just going to do tropes all episodes.
Yeah, we're just the rest of it's just quotes. We're not going to talk about projects or conventions or anything like that. So speaking of conventions, that's a flimsy segue to talk about conventions.
I thought it was a strong segue. I'm proud of it. I mean, it's so strong. I would ride that segue, but
I mean, be careful. You might fall off a cliff.
R.I.P.
Sorry for that.
I'm not. That was a pretty good one.
Thank you. You do a lot of conventions. That's actually how we met. We just kept seeing each other at conventions, different
MomoCon in Mobile. That's how we met. We had kept running into each other at that one. I was like, what you and Eris was doing. I was like, oh, that's fun. Let's do stuff together. So we ended up doing some stuff. It was fun.
We did. Show we did. We sat in on your review of Mortal Kombat.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeons and Dragons. That's what it was.
Dungeons and Dragons, which you can find on my website. You can listen to it on the website.
Yes, go to the website and listen to that one, because Eris and I don't know what got into us, but we watched that movie. I went out and found blue lipstick so I could look like the weird guy. It was.
I've blocked out the movie. Just like I just know one of the Wayans brothers is in it for some reason, and
he goes for his Oscar moment. At one point, he's the comic relief.
And Thora Birch is in it, and Jeremy Irons, who only did it because he wanted to buy a castle, so they gave him castle money to do it. So,
yeah, that movie is just a treasure trove of what is going on. Richard O'Brien shows up, and they make a reference to his game show in Britain that American audiences have no idea what he's talking about with the maze. It's Richard O'Brien, and you're like, I think I recognize him.
Which the maze wasn't a maze. It was like the maze of death, and it was just basically the hallway of inconvenience.
Yeah. Although they did accidentally get too close with one of the takes, and you can see when the axe comes swinging down, it actually clips the actor's costume, like the front of his chest.
What was O'Shea on that one?
Oh man. We'll get to that. We'll get back to that. So we've done conventions together, and you do a lot of stuff at conventions. You also spend a lot of time at your table.
Yes, that's part of it. You gotta,
You do. Like a lot of conventions, you're contractually obligated to spend a certain amount of time at your table, and a lot of people don't know what it's like sitting back there. So. One thing I like to ask everyone who's on this show who does conventions, please give us your table experience.
So majority of my table experience has been positive. Every con I've done, I've done big cons and little cons. And I will say, especially when people don't know you, and I have a small publishing company and a small podcast network. So I have fans, but that's why we do these things. So there's a lot of shows that people don't know us. And so there's a lot of what I like to call downtime. And so I get to meet all my neighbors, and we all get to come real close and stuff. And that's stuff fun. But, typically people are lovely. I do have one heartbreaking experience I want to share. And this is just maybe a plea to our viewers out there, is especially if you're a comics fan or you're trying to get into comics. So when my first book came out, it was a steampunk anthology. I wrote it. I'm a writer. I do not draw. I can't draw stick people. Not my thing. But I'm a writer, and so I used artists from around the world on this thing, and I was very, very proud of it. I had someone come up to my table, pick up my book, flip through it, and said, "Oh, are you the artist?" And I said, "Oh no, but I wrote it." And they just put it down and walked away.
Oh no!
And so. I'm trying not to just cry at my table, like, oh, heartbroken. Oh, okay, ow, it stung. So, even if you don't care about the writer, just fake it out there. Just be like, oh, that's nice. I'm gonna go check some other things, but I might be back, which is the signal of like, thank you for stopping by the table.
Yeah, but, you're not coming back when they say that. Or the other one I get is, well, I only have so much money this weekend. And no. But so they're going to buy something they like.
Right. And so I found a workaround for that, and especially for the comics and of course the podcasting too, because we release our episodes for free. But I put the comic on Webtoons, something I learned last year. The younger kids like reading their comics digital, and so we made them push to make sure everything is digital. And I've learned that it's two different audiences, so my revenue doesn't really go down. In fact, I'm building fans out of it. So just a tip out there for those who've got comics and want to try something. Webtoons is free, and if you can't get that sale, at least you'll get that view. And so that's kind of important. And hey, I like to make money. We all do. It's America. However, I have these ideas that are stuck in my head. I'd like to share them. I want people to read the story, and so look at the wonderful artwork that my artist John Walker does, and I want to share that with everybody. And so it doesn't get shared if it just sits on my rack. So if I have to put it out digitally, we put it out digitally. So we get that story out there.
Yeah, and the artwork that you guys have, your art is fantastic. Your stories are fantastic.
Thank you.
And I really want people to read them, because it's just like you. I think that stories are important. Like we need to share the different stories that we have. As you know, I published my first book just earlier last year, like at the beginning of the pandemic.
Right.
And it was one of those things that had been in my head for a while, and finally got it out. And now there's more stuff in my head that wants to come out.
That's how it works.
And that is that creative process. It gets you, and it doesn't stop. So you were at conventions and you sit at your table, but eventually you do get to go do some shows. And what is that experience like, being on that side of the table when you're doing a show at a con?
Oh, it's so much fun. It's exhilarating. It's it's a break from what you're doing, but it also lets the convention guests know what you do. You can give them your elevator pitch all you want to, and they'll like, we'll come back to your table later or whatever. But if they see you at a show, it's a better connection. Especially like us, we try to put it in a solid show. We always have we always have like prizes for every. We try to so no matter what show we do, we try to let someone win something. And so, if for hashtag, the big prize is a big giant box full of all kinds of stuff that we say it's the prize worth $1 legally. We have to say that.
Mm-hmm.
Do we? But it's fun. It's fun. And so we want you to come in, have a good time, take a little break, sit down, laugh with us, and you win something. You might win something. So that's what we do. So, and that's really fun for me as a performer. It's you as an actor, I understand. If you don't have an audience, it's just sad. So we just like to perform for folks.
I can tell you, man, the worst feeling in the world is playing to 3 people in a room and no one laughs. But we have done big shows and small shows, and I've done shows where we've had 3 people in the audience, and my goal is just to make sure those 3 people have a good time. Mm-hmm. So I want them to leave happy. Some other people may get disgruntled. Some people, I've seen people actually, well, there's 3 people, we're not going to do it. I'm like, no. These 3 people came to see you. You should do it. You definitely do it. So I'm a big proponent of that. So yeah, they come to see you. So 3 people, 1 pair, it doesn't matter. 0, we'll do it. That is one thing I've learned at conventions. Once you get up on stage and once you're out behind the table, it doesn't matter how many people are in your room at a con. They came to that room to see you, and you're absolutely right. As long as you can make them happy, that's the important part.
And the best thing too is, like, a lot of people are not sure what you are. I mean, they get a book or on the app will tell you like the title of your, like for us, we have Pensacon coming up in about 2 weeks, and we're doing the Cult Movie Cantina. We're doing on Back to the Future, and so that's all it really says. Cult Movie Cantina Live, Back to the Future. So then we're going to at least talk about Back to the Future. But I've got prizes. We're giving away a full DVD box set that has it includes the animated series, which I didn't know existed. So I can't wait to do research on that.
Oh, I remember that.
I have a 20-ounce 35th anniversary Back to the Future coin I'm giving away, and a Doc Brown action figure. And so, and then the next day we're doing hashtag, and the prizes for that are crazy, but they're all hush up secret because that's the fun part. I like watching people open up it's like Christmas, watching them open and pull all the fun stuff out of there.
Yeah, and I've seen your shows, I've seen your audience reactions, and you guys are always you're always genuine towards your audience. And I think that's what makes you so successful as an entertainer with your people. People leave your shows and they've genuinely had a good time, and the people that have prizes have an even better time and a story.
Right,
And I
right, and
think,
plus and free stuff.
yeah,
So I guess the lesson is that we bribe our audience. So just come in, free stuff. We did Pensacon last year. We did for Cult Movie Cantina. We did They Live, and we gave everybody in the audience sunglasses and bubblegum
well, you have to.
on
Yeah,
top of the other prizes that we had. But we made sure everyone had something. So
yeah,
we're
you
trying to figure out what we're
absolutely
going to
have
do for
to.
Back to the Future. So we got a couple of weeks on that.
There was that kind of reminds me. There was a convention where one of the shows we do is called Curse Words and Cake, where we discuss the history of curse words, like how they first originally came into usage, what they originally meant, and then how they came to mean what they mean now. And by the way, Nicolas Cage, I'm still waiting for my paycheck, sir. Uh,
He just hosted that. Go after those producers,
yeah.
Netflix.
If they came and saw my show, oh. But we also like to hand out cake. There was one convention where they said, no, 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 you can't hand out food. And it wasn't the convention owners, it was the convention center.
Yeah, the venue.
Uh, yeah, the venue. And I will not name the company, but I'm sure everybody can guess what it is. They said, no, you can't hand out food. We're the only ones that can sell food here. And we said, well, we're not selling it. We're giving it out. And they said, no, you can't do that. So we looked at the contract and it was like, well, those people have candy on their table and they're giving that out. And they said, okay, you can give out food that's under an ounce. I'm like, have you ever had an ounce of cake? There's no such thing as an ounce of cake.
As a large fellow, I wouldn't want to imagine that nightmare of an ounce of cake.
Right? So we asked the convention, okay, well, what about this? Can we give out a cookie? And they were like, a cookie? And we said, yeah, can we give out a cookie? And they conferred for a moment and they were like, yeah, you can. So we went to the store and we bought the biggest possible cookie cake we could find. Because by definition, it constituted one cookie.
You're anarchists.
No, I looked at what the rules said, and there's probably a new rule now because of me, which is fun though. Me and
I would
Aris.
have just been like, okay, and then find something else. I'm like, I ain't got time to read whatever the contract, whatever. Just...
Oh no, we're petty. We're petty and vindictive.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
That's how we work.
We did a show in West Virginia when we did the game show. It's my favorite con name, by the way, Shaka Con. It's a horror film convention.
Oh, it's a good one.
Right, it's so good. They're not good. They no longer exist. I hope they come back. They're a great show. But West Virginia's not familiar with Mardi Gras, and you're from Louisiana. You've lived near New Orleans, and I've lived in Mobile. So we both have a culture of Mardi Gras. We understand it. So we had Mardi Gras questions, so we could throw stuff into the audience, moon pies and all the because that's the fun stuff. That's what I like. Throwing things in the audience. It's fun.
It is. It is a ton of fun. So that was one of my crazy convention stories. What is your craziest convention story?
So mine's a story about why you should never meet your heroes. How about that? Will that work?
Yeah, that'll be the second one we've had.
As a comic book writer, I'm a fan of other comic book writers. I will not name names because I will say my second experience was wonderful. However, my first experience was not. I like a specific character. Those who know me know who that character is. And the creator of that character was at a show that I was at. I went specifically to meet this person. And as a writer, I was just, writer to writer, how did you come up with the concept of this character? Was it, just, I wanted insight because, your favorite character, not fanboying over, just writer to writer, right? This person was not having it whatsoever at all. And was like, how they came to be? Well, when a mommy and a daddy love each other, they come together. And it was those kind of, it was very very annoying. They didn't have their coffee. I don't know what happened. But so got my thing signed, crestfallen. It happens. So I walk away to my buddy. And then the creator looks to me and goes, hey, come here. And I'm like, oh, he's want to talk. So I come back up to him. I'm excited again.
Mhm.
Oh. And then I'm tall and he's sitting down. He wants me to come to my level. And so I come down and he gets my ear and he whispers in my ear and he says, "Your fly is down." I could have died right there.
Oh, man.
Just died. Just could have died right there. So, however, the second time I met him, they were wonderful. So
Yeah,
got exactly what I wanted. So.
Yeah. Well, one of our previous shows, a couple of them, we've talked to people who've worked as guest liaisons. And one of the things they always try to remind us of is that actors, writers, the celebrities, the people that come to conventions, they're people. And sometimes they have bad days, sometimes they have good days. And unfortunately, like if there's a bad fan experience, it's unfortunate. And at the end of the day, it's, they're human. And
so I will put a caveat to that. I agree. However, there was somebody, Michael Dorn, I named it, who we've met on a couple of occasions and does not seem happy to be there at all. Anytime we've met him, and it's like, you're part of this. You've agreed to this is part of the contract. You show up and at least be pleasant, and like every interaction I've had with him, which is a lesson to me as as a person who has a table, I try to be pleasant with everybody. And so it just, the fans I have or the people I want to make fans, I'm there for a reason. Yes, it's financial, but I have to put on, they're actors. There's a little show and they know how to do that. So it's,
Yeah. As an actor, I will say you only have so much in your reserve, and show health, if you use too much of that, it will just deplete you. Scotty, there is so much more we can talk about.
That's true.
Unfortunately, we are out of time right now. It's going to have to wait until next time.
Oh, I'd love to come back.
Before we say goodbye, where can people find you? Where can they see your stuff? Where can they find you and talk to you?
I'm super easy. Come see me at scottywhite.com, all one word. Everything I do is there. So, and I'm Facebook and Twitter, the whole thing. You can get everything from there. Say hi to me. So I'll say hi back. We like friends. Oh, look at all of my stuff there. Yeah, me and David Warner and the Colin Cantina. Then my comics and
yeah, David Warner. There's you and David Warner and
there's David Warner.
There
are 4 lights shirt for the extremely nerds out there who might get that.
Yes. Well, Scotty, it's been absolutely wonderful to see you again. Hopefully we get to see each other in person soon. Thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. On behalf of my guest, I have been your host, Scott J. Carroll. This has been Entertainer Spotlight. See you next time.